Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of a series that I'm doing called My Thoughts on ... And a couple weeks ago I did a video on my thoughts on clothes, which you can find right here, so that way you can get an idea about how I downsized and kind of pared down some of the clothing I had and kind of made more of a minimalist wardrobe. And so today, in going along with the KonMari method of decluttering, I thought I could talk about how I decluttered my books. And as you can see here, this is our one bookshelf that we own, which is pretty much filled up with a lot of stuff, knickknacks. That's kind of the only place I allow in my home to have knickknack type things. I've kind of designated to one spot. But in our old apartment, we had a couple of bookshelves that were overflowing. There were not enough shelves for all the books that we had. And so it was really interesting trying to pare down the books through this process that we were going on. So what we did, and what KonMari kind of suggests, is just like with the clothing, take everything off of the bookshelves from every room where you have any books. So that way all of your books are localized into one central place and you can see how many books you actually own. So the first thing we did was pare down the books that we didn't think we were going to read, or we have already read and we have no interest in reading them again. Something that we could easily get from the library or borrow from a friend. It wasn't really necessary to have in the house. And then from there, we kind of looked a little bit deeper. So some of these books may have had sentimental value. So maybe someone gave it to us. Maybe we've had it for a long time and it means something to us. But we had to kind of parse through those details. So if someone gave it to us but we haven't read it yet, why is it that we're not reading it? Is it because we're really not interested in it? Is it because it's too long and we know realistically we're not going to get to it? So we had to decide, is this just something we're holding on to out of guilt, or is this something that I actually plan on finding value in and reading and things like that? So the things that brought us any type of guilt, we got rid of. Because for me, when I look on the bookshelf, I don't want to see anything, or for my house in general, I guess, but I don't want to see anything that makes me feel guilty because I haven't used it. So I would rather pass it along to someone else who will get some value from it, as opposed to sitting on my shelf bringing me all sorts of guilt for not kind of valuing the book as much as I should. I think this process was a lot easier for me than for my husband, who has certain books that mean a lot to him, certain books that he plans on reading, but I don't think he's going to read them. He just doesn't have time. And other books that he thinks look very nice on the shelf, more of an aesthetic thing. So again, it's my journey to go on, not his. I appreciate that he was kind of a part of the process, and he did get rid of a lot of books, but it was more of a journey for me. And so I basically downsized to maybe, I don't know, I probably have 8 or 10 books over there, books that I really enjoy, that I do reread. There are some children's books there that mean a lot, that I want to be able to pass on to our kids. I know it's like the one day thing, but they're there. I'm giving that to myself. Let's see, books that I just find of value, and so I do want to hold on to them. So that was kind of our process in decluttering our bookshelf, which I know it looks like madness from here, having so much stuff on it, but it actually is a big improvement, and it brings me a lot of happiness when I look at this bookshelf, because there's all sorts of little charms and memorabilia and things from our childhoods and things that we've kind of collected as a couple. And so I think it kind of nicely showcases where we've been and kind of our personalities, and it's just a nice little piece for us. So when it comes to new books that we kind of want to read, we usually try to get the books from the library, which more often than not they have them, or I can borrow it from a friend. It's around there somewhere. I'd rather not buy the book, which can be pretty expensive, and then have it decluttering more of my bookshelf. So I try to kind of let it come into my life, get value from the book, and then send it back out into the world. So I think that makes it a lot easier. And I will admit, while I do have a couple of children's books on my bookshelf, I had like a ton more children's books, because being a teacher, you want to have those available, but I also was secretly hoarding them for the child that we will one day have. But I thought, you know what? When we have kids one day, I'm sure people will be more than happy to shower us with children's books. And so instead, I brought all those children's books to my school and put them in my class library, so children who are alive right now, who can enjoy them right now, can have them, as opposed to a one-day child who's not here yet. So that's kind of all I have to say on my thoughts about books. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not already, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get all sorts of new updates when I send a video out. I try to get one out every week. Sometimes it doesn't happen, sometimes it does, when it does, it's great. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you later. Bye.